I took the time out to make this video today, especially for the ladies, as I want to discuss how our menstrual cycle, ladies, can affect our training, okay? And how you can kind of tailor your training cycle to your menstrual cycle to get the best bang for your buck when it comes to building muscle, okay? So let's take the time out to dive in real quick. So we got 2 phases of our cycles. Really, it's 3 to 4, but we're just going to keep everything simple today. We got 2 main phases of our cycle, the follicular phase and the luteal phase. I always get tripped up saying that word, follicular. The follicular phase and the luteal phase. And the follicular phase, the menstrual cycle, the start of your menstrual cycle is marked, let's write this down, by the first day of your period. So the first day of period. Okay, so the first day of your period, that's what kicks everything in gear, okay? So from the first day, so we'll say from day 1 to day 14 for most people, this is when all of the nice muscle building, all of that happens between this phase, okay? This is where you want to go higher. You want to get that heavy training out the way. This is where I like to describe to my female clients where you feel most similar to a man. The beginning in the follicular phase. Go ahead, during this phase, you will want to do things like get your hard training out of the way. You know, go for that 1 rep max, go for those PRs and things of those natures. That's what you want to do in this phase, because in the beginning of the menstrual cycle, both hormones, progesterone and estrogen, the 2 main regulating hormones for us, are at their lowest, okay? So again, you want to go ahead, push real hard during this phase. This is the time where you generally can get the most bang for your buck, your body can recover well, and your muscles can build quickly, okay? Now that brings me to the middle. This is, marked usually by day 14, ovulation, okay? So, okay, ladies, we all know what ovulation is, all right? We all know what happened. So during this time, this is where you might notice a little bit of a slowdown, okay? That's because the hormone estrogen here starts to rise as we approach ovulation, okay? Getting the body ready for pregnancy, or to, release the egg and start the cycle over again should you choose not to get pregnant. So estrogen starts to rise during this time, okay? And then obviously if you don't get pregnant, our body goes through the normal cycle or what it does to dispose of the egg. And then you have estrogen starts to drop during that point in time. Now, when estrogen starts to drop, as estrogen is starting to drop, that's when progesterone starts to enter the picture. And so I should say, like right here, that's when progesterone starts to enter the picture. And progesterone starts to climb during this peak right here. So progesterone, now that is the one that I want to talk about. That is what I like to call the big bad wolf of the second half of our cycle. So progesterone brings with it these things that we're used to. PMS symptoms, okay? We all know, are familiar with that, the mood swings, the cravings, the fatigue, the things of that nature. So ladies, if for whatever reason you're like, why do I feel like I can't lift as much around this time? Well, that's because when your body is dealing with these hormones, because as you'll notice, estrogen starts to rise again as well as you kind of get through that half point in the luteal phase. These hormones use up a lot of our energy, okay? So it's no wonder that during the second half, you may feel fatigue more than ever. And again, obviously, your menstrual cycle is definitely going to be tailored to you and your body and the way it works. This may not be true for 100% of the population, but I can guarantee that this is definitely true for the majority of us, okay? So again, we're going to erase this. So progesterone brings about things like PMS symptoms. We're very familiar with those. Okay, another one, increase in temperature. Okay. Now, in the beginning, your body you can remain well regulated. Okay, so well hydrated. You take in water and things like that. It's a lot easier for your body to cool itself during workouts because we don't have all of this going on. Remember, as I told you at the beginning, both hormones are, at their lowest as your period starts. Some of us still may be experiencing PMS and things like that. But for the most part, you are still going to get the best bang for your buck when it comes to strength training during this phase, okay? Now, during the luteal phase, our temperatures increase a little bit. So I wouldn't recommend that you do such strenuous activity, because strenuous activity does what? It raises our temperature. And you might also want to stay away from things like hot yoga. Things like that might exacerbate, your symptoms even more. So that's just some stuff to keep in mind as we approach this second half of our phase, okay? And another one that I want to talk about is our body's inability to repair itself. Inability to, I'll just say inability to repair. Now, the reason I say this is because as the progesterone, once again, what did I say? Hormones use a good amount of our energy, right? So because a good amount of our energy is being used to do other things in our body, it's harder, it becomes harder for the body to repair itself around that time. So that's another reason I don't recommend that you do such strenuous training in the second half. You want to take it easy because your body is already using up a lot of your calories, a lot of your nutrients, which brings me to another one. We're running out of room here, so I'm just going to erase this really quick. Hopefully you got it. We'll go back over this anyway in the wrap up. Okay, that brings me to this one. Particularly in the second half of this phase, you want to do stuff like increase your water intake. Okay, you want to increase your water intake. You want to do stuff like eat more protein, which helps with recovery, because remember I told you progesterone inhibits our body's ability to recover as efficiently as it does in the follicular phase. So you want to consume lots of protein, okay? So those are two things that I want to add that you most definitely want to do. You should be doing this anyway, but you really want to do it in access during the second half due to the hormones using up a lot of our energy, okay? So let's go back over this again for those that missed a lot of important concepts. So we're going to start backing up a little bit. So the menstrual cycle. For most women, 30 days, okay? Keeping it simple. We have two phases, follicular and the luteal phase. The first day of our period usually marks what? The beginning of our cycle. Now, even though we know the first day, most women bleed from 3 to 7 days, you'll deal with the symptoms and stuff that go through there. But for the most part, this here, between the first and 14 days, first 2 weeks, I should say, of your cycle, this is the ideal strength period, okay? Okay, that's what we're going to call it. This is your ideal strength period. This is where you want to work real hard. This is when you want to push your body to its limits, go for that 1 rep max, etc., okay? Now, as we move and we approach what? Ovulation. This is when you want to slow down. Okay, I just say slow down. I'm not saying you have to completely stop lifting and things like that. I should say this is where you want to start paying attention to your body and just giving your body what it says that it needs from you, okay? So that brings me to when you get to the second phase, which is from day 14 to the 28th. Or I guess I should say 15, right? Because the days can't be both, but knowing how a woman's body works, it's probably both. But anyways, for this last phase, this is where you want to just take it easy, okay? You want to do stuff like yoga, but not hot yoga, remember, because we have that increase in temperature and you don't want to exacerbate those issues, okay? So, but this is just where you want to take it easy. Maybe just do a little volume work, not go too heavy, not put your body through too much. Again, ladies, just listen to your body. Give your body what it's asking of you and you'll do just fine, okay? Again, I just want to take the time out to say thank you for watching this video, and I hope that I provided you with some valuable information today. Again, I've gotten a lot of questions about how our training and menstrual cycle and intertwine with each other, so I hope I was able to clear up a lot of questions. And if you do still have questions, you can drop them in the comments, but most importantly, I am not a doctor. I am not a gynecologist. I am just passing on the knowledge that I got from my own doctor. But consult with your own doctor if you have any other questions that may be a little too far out of the scope of what I can provide you with. So again, thank you for watching this video. And with this newfound knowledge, ladies, go wreck some shit.